Ooh, I gotta. Ooh, sorry about that. I had a echo there.
A what?
An echo. I was trying to do something with the phone, and it was on the YouTube channel, and it just started echoing.
Oh, well, I see you got it to say rising and inspiring, and I wanted you to know you spelled LaTezeon wrong on the tweet. I was like, where is my other E in my name?
But, I'm telling you, this is my day today. Like, I'm just going to start spelling everything wrong because then I'll feel better about today.
I'm just like, gonna fake it till I make it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, now that we're live and we're a few minutes late, so
yes, we're human. It happens, Nothing is perfect, and no one.
I hear you on that one. So I know it's been a while. I was sick, and I started getting my headaches really bad. I get migraines since I was 9, and so my headaches have been so bad that I have not wanted to do anything once work ended. So
we've been out of commission for how long now?
Since like March. Yeah, well, no, since March, over a month, because
we didn't even do anything in April.
We did with Rochelle. It was at the end of April, but I still wasn't feeling good that day. I was still recovering. Well, I had COVID earlier, and then I was recovering from being sick with headaches and stuff. So I was really out of it at that show.
Yeah. Well, I remember getting your text, and you were like, "Okay, I think I'm out of it. I think I feel better." It's been like almost 3 months of just not feeling well, and you're like, "Okay, I think I'm good." I was like, "Okay." I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you are back and are well, because that is important. So how many days you have left of school?
7.
Yay. Do you still have to go after the children are dismissed? Like, sometimes teachers have those extra days?
Just one day. The kids get out on Thursday the 27th. We have one more day. My seniors leave Thursday of this week.
Okay. So when is graduation?
Saturday and Sunday. They're doing 2 days of graduation because they're doing in sections.
Okay. Well, they've started to graduate around here.
Okay.
My goddaughter graduated Saturday. My husband graduated Friday. She graduated Friday. My husband graduated Friday. So he is now completely done with law school. So that's now 6.5 years of our marriage and 6.5 years of him being in school. And now the roles have changed, and now I'm in school. So let's see. I said we're going to renew our vows in 2024, December the 21st of 2024. It would be really nice if I'm almost done with school by the end too. That would be like perfect timing. Like, I just have like one semester, because my goal is to be out by May of 2025. So if I could be working on getting out when we renew our vows in December, that'd be a perfect plan.
That sounds good.
Yes. I told him after the 10-year, I do want a 10-year renew of vows. I don't think he thinks I'm serious, but I am serious. I've already picked a date. He's saying no, and he's saying I'm not, but I'm like dead serious. It's December the 21st, because I picked my numbers 12, 21, 24. And see, we got married on 12/2/14. So he don't know it. He gonna be there, because he probably not gonna assist me with any of the putting together of the occasion, but he will attend the occasion. You say what? No, nope. It got messed up. It needs to be redone again. It did get messed up.
What happened?
We spent the whole year apart, so that we got to make up for that year that we was apart. But trying to convince him, he thinks he's not. He will be at a wedding on December the 21st in 2024.
Just send him Just send him an invitation.
I'm debating if I want it here or if I want to like go off somewhere and do it, but we doing it. I'm currently in a show right now. Thank you. Children, just breathe. Children, just breathe. Oh goodness, it was something that I wanted to bring up. I can't remember, but I bought 2 new books. I only see one right. I see the other one, and I plan to read these like very soon. But it's How to Succeed as an Elementary Teacher. I thought about gifting this to my second graders teacher, but I don't know how she would take that if I'm trying to, help her be a more successful teacher because and then I have one that says become an effective teacher in 10 minutes.
Wow.
I thought about gifting her this one too, but I don't know how that would make her feel. So I'm going to mention them to her when we have our meeting on Thursday. I have 2 books I just got, and I think you should look into them and show her because she's not succeeding. Now, my kindergartner's teacher, she's wonderful, great, love her. She did her best with him this year, and I'm very pleased. Talk had come up of like allowing him to possibly move up a grade, but we talked to a close friend who retired from education, and she said don't do it. And I was like, okay, because they did it to me. I went to kindergarten for a few days, and then next thing I know, I'm in first grade, and the teacher her name was Miss Love. And Miss Love used to share her wheat thin crackers with me. And that was her way of helping me feel comfortable with being in first grade and I was still considered a kindergartner. But when we moved to Vicksburg, I just went on with the flow. And my favorite teacher ever is named Miss Nasser. And she was my second grade teacher. I love Miss Nasser to pieces. And so I just think that it's unfortunate that my son doesn't have the opportunity to feel that way about his teacher, because you remember these are the years that impact them. And these are the years where you get to learn that your teacher cares about you and wants to see you succeed. And yeah, we got a bad apple. We got a bad apple this year, but I'm a tell her, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say I hold myself accountable, but you best believe she gonna get held accountable too. I'm not gonna be the only one being held accountable. She gonna be held accountable as well, because she nope, we're gonna be at another school next year too anyway, so I'm excited about that. I'm still trying to one more book that I'm going to be working in. These are the best books. I have it in math, science, English, history, and now biology. It has everything. And I mean, like the way they set it up is like notebook. So if you were like just making notes and stuff in your notebook, so it makes it so interesting I could just sit there and just go through it for hours. And that's my plan. Especially with the I had pulled the standards off for 5th grade, and I'm like, we're gonna be doing fractions and decimals and adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing, and I'm like, so yeah, I will be taking 2 classes this summer, one in June and one in July. But my spare time will be spent learning the 5th grade math curriculum, because I don't want to get up there and try to teach somebody's child and I don't know it, or I don't know it well enough. So
right.
Yeah, that's my homework. The principal has been extremely helpful so far. She's allowed me access to where the current teachers put the lesson plans so that I can get an idea of what the lesson plans are supposed to look like. And they don't look too bad. I don't think it's gonna be as, I used to make things harder on myself than what they really were. And I think that was something that I've learned since I've stepped away for a year. It's like I used to get mad about lesson plans, or I used to feel like I don't want to do them, or I felt like I wasn't competent enough to do them, or I wouldn't do them correctly, or how the person would want them to look. So I was more fearful of it than anything, and I would pull back. But I'm like, now I do lesson plans whenever, especially after the last class I had with Dr. Frankham. And I know he had me doing at least 3 to 4 detailed lesson plans. So I've learned the importance of lesson plans, and I have no problem doing them now. So, I used to take those things like that for granted, and I won't anymore. I won't have a problem getting my stuff turned in on time. Um, Definitely ready to get back. And I think that it'll be good that I'll be with 5th graders and not high schoolers, because high schoolers tend to think that I look like them. And no, honey, I'm almost old enough to be your mother. So we can't be friends. I got to be, and then I would play counselor role, and it was just, high school was too much. So I think elementary is gonna be a nice new adventure, especially in math, because I'm like, I don't teach math. I don't. I do have some posters on my Amazon wish list that I'm gonna have to go ahead on and get so that I can start studying them as well. But I got to make sure that putting them up won't affect the kids when it comes time for them to actually do whatever that particular objective is. But they have some really nice ones on Amazon, and you can get like a pack of 8 of them. And I got 2 sets in my basket that I'm waiting to purchase. They $11.95 a piece for the 2 sets. So I'm patiently waiting to get those. But I'm excited. I really am. I think I miss the classroom, and doing what I'm currently doing. That's about all I can say, because I got to continue to do that for a little while now. I can't let that go until a couple of months from now, but I won't do it no more. I've realized that was not, I think I was taken on that journey so that I would appreciate what I had before. It was like, okay, let me take you down this road. Since you want to be big, bad enough and go try to do something else, here, I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Here, go try to do that something else. And then you realize, yeah, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And so I had to learn that way. So I would be happy to be back in the classroom. And then for those individuals on Twitter who wanted to try to isolate me because I was no longer in the classroom, I'm going to be kind and just say, thank you for motivating me to go back into the classroom. So now find another reason to try to isolate me. That's all I have to say.
So is there a little personal
Yes, it's all in here. But I can't be the typical angry Black woman. I can't do that. That's just not right. So I'll just kill them with kindness and just say, now you can go run and tell people oh, well, I heard she is back teaching now, instead of what you were running, that I was doing something else. So now you can have your story straight. And it's directed. It's really directed. It's directed to like little groups, because it's like little groups of them. And I'm like, I'm not even famous and I have haters, but it must mean I'm doing something right. Because when you get haters, that means you're doing something. So yeah, just be little small clicks of them here and there, and I hear a whisper or a voice to come back and, well, such and such said this, and I'm like, I'm just me. I love to be on Twitter. I love to assist as many educators as I possibly can. And that's it. Like, so for all those that, now I'm back in the classroom. So can't use that against me anymore. Find something else now. I got another child tapping on my shoulder. Both of them know I'm busy right now. We are live. Do you see that? Live. That means we live. Yes. Yes, he is. Tell him I said give it to you. Thank you. Okay. So you were going to mention something, and we have a wonderful guest coming next week, right?
Yes.
I've already sent him some questions, and he was like, "Oh, I love your questions," and I was like, "Thanks." He's a really sweet guy, and it's cool that you don't know him and he doesn't know you, but both of you have something that connects you. So, please tell us about that.
So I'm trying to get the picture because I don't have the book yet. But
is it gonna like discount for you all to get the books? Or is there there should be something for you all to?
Yeah, we each get a copy.
Okay, I like that. See, I like that. Now, I don't follow Dr. Jeter, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
But we did make contact a while back when he had like some stickers and something, and I connected with him, and he was supposed to send me some stickers. Now, whether I got them or not, I don't remember. But that was when I went to his when I went to the inbox, I was like, oh, we've actually communicated before. I was like, oh, we communicated about some stickers, and gave him an address, and he was supposed to send them, and he may have sent, I don't know, but I don't know where they are, if they were sent. And so I asked him, I said, hey, how are you? Congratulations. And then I asked him how diversified are his books. And he hadn't responded back yet, but I know that he kind of liked the tweet that you had put up. And so, yeah, I was like, I want to know how diversified, like, would it work for all backgrounds, or are these chapters for specific backgrounds, or
so
what you got was your chapter?
So the book is called 100 No Nonsense Things All Teachers Should Stop Doing. Whoops, there's my camera. And
gotcha.
it actually hits #1 new release within 24 hours. So it's pretty cool. It hit the #1 new release in 24 hours.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep.
That's wonderful. I saw on his page there's that one, the parent one, and the school leader. So I didn't know that there were 3. Are all 3 of them out?
No, just so it goes the teachers first, and then the other 2 will be released later on. So it's it's a series that it's in certain release dates.
Okay, cool. I just saw him up on his page, and I was like, oh, okay. Then you know my question, so I went on ahead and asked it. I don't sugarcoat.
Oh, no.
No. I just wanted to know, So what was your chapter about?
So mine was chapter 90, and it was, I always get it wrong because I always flip it, but stop being a Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All.
I would like your chapter.
So it all starts off with, we all know them. They're your friends, they're your family, they're your coworkers. We all know a know-it-all.
Yes, that's for sure.
So, and then a lot of the chapters are just like what teachers have done, and I've done it too without realizing it. It's like, stop talking bad about your colleagues. Stop, worrying about yourself all the time. I mean, I don't know if that's a chapter, but it's all these things that teachers would do. It's meant for teachers, not necessarily for like students or anyone else. It's like for us to learn what we're doing and to change that. And then he has he's got, I think, 6 total books. One of them I had bought actually it was given to me by a friend. Him and Rebecca Coda co-authored it. They actually own the publishing company together. And
the publishing company too. That was a new thing. I was like, oh, okay. I learned a lot in those few minutes that I was just on his Twitter page. And like,
he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He always answers back. It may take some time, but he answers back. And one of them is let students speak, or let them speak. So it's about student voice,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I wonder who did you publish that with?
I think it was DBC.
That's why it sounds familiar. Because, I love their collection. Like, in fact, I'm still missing. I know there's some new ones that have come out, and I haven't had the chance to like catch up on, because there is a new one that came out. And I think it was dealing with math or something. And I was like, oh yeah, I really got to get that one. Mind you, I have over 50 books of DBC, and do not ask me how many I have read, because I want to be as truthful as I can be on here. So they have their own section in my library where it's just strictly DBC books. And one day I'm going to be able to, one day when life slows down, I'm going to be able to get through them.
That's how I am too.
That one sounds familiar. That's why I was like, yeah, I've heard that one. I didn't know that he was one of the authors, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this was a DBC one too. I was just looking. Yeah, this is DBC too. This is the one I got. It's actually really good.
Haven't seen that one.
So look at the bottom. How to prevail when others want to see you drown.
Oh, I might need to see that one.
So Rebecca Coder, it's called Escaping the School Leader's Dunk Tank. And this was published by DBC too. So I have that one, and I have this one. It says Let Them Speak, and it's how student voice can transform your school.
I've seen that one. I really have. Now, I don't think it's in my collection, but I will be reaching out to my source so that I can say, hey, so can I get this, please? And this one, please. It just have me a little list of like maybe 5 at the most. Because I know there was one that recently came out about math, and I'm like, that would be cool to read that one while I'm trying to figure out. And of course, we're going to have our book that's going to come through DBC one day, hopefully. That's what I wanted to come through.
We're live, right?
Yeah. I'm speaking it into existence. Like, it's really going to happen. Now, I haven't quite gotten the outline. We're supposed to be working on our outline, but I'm telling you, it's going to be fit for, that's who we,
Yeah, I just think
if not, then our sweet Dr. Sarah will love us enough where she might publish for us. Not because might not now because I'm putting her second, but I love her. I still hate to this day that I missed that interview with her. Man, I want to be here so bad. And I just knew I was gonna be here. I'm like, girl, I go in the morning, I'm gonna be out, I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be there. Totally just was not true. And I was like, I should have listened. I should have just said, let's reschedule, because man. And I'm still dealing with issues after that, like issues like size wise. Like if you looked at me, you might think that I'm like expecting and I'm praying. No one comes up to me and say that, because I cannot promise you what will actually come out of my mouth. And I even talked to my doctor about that, and he was like, yeah, I'm with you. I definitely would not want to be there if someone asked you that. So I'm gonna make an appointment and go back to my primary physician and ask her, is this normal that I'm still like this? And we had that back in February, and I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, you shouldn't be that bloated or that afterwards.
It should have gone down, and it's still like the same size as when I woke up from the surgery. I'm pretty much still like that same size. And I'm like, something ain't right. Maybe he didn't move some organs in some certain places, but I got to get that looked at. No, because I can't walk around here like this, because all my outfits I have to like go through and pre-dress myself so that the outfit accommodates me, so that it doesn't appear that I look that way. And I don't have too many outfits that I can keep switching out so that it doesn't look like, oh, maybe she is. No, there are no more children. When I say I'm shut down, I'm shut down. There are no more coming from here. None at all. Never, ever again.
Well, there you go.
Now I want another dog, but my husband is telling me no, I can't get him.
Sorry, my phone, I thought it was on silent.
Yeah, he tells me I cannot get another dog, but I will say Lincoln and I have become more close than what we were at first, because Lincoln, it was like we had a I love you situation, but I'm gonna come sit on you for just a little while, or I'm gonna hang with you for just a little while. After this, Lincoln don't leave my sight. And when he sleeps right next to me, and he has to make sure he touching me. Like we have to be touching. If he's not touching my shoulder, he's laying at the top of my head at night. So, and he goes with me wherever I go. He's right with me. He's in the car. So, he's definitely has changed. And I think he picked up on the fact that she's no longer here. So I think it was some separation anxiety that he and I both were experiencing. So I miss her dearly every single day. And I have a new illustrator that is looking into Fur Family Forever, because the first illustrator had to cut it loose. I tried, but when you take months, like almost a year, months to try to create 22 or 23 pages of pictures, and you already have the words for the page, all you have to do is create the vision from the words on the page, and so I'm crossing my fingers that the new illustrator will, like, he asked me to send him pictures of all the dogs, and I sent him a copy of the first book, and giving him he's like trying to get a feel for how to draw them. I've seen his drawings and they are beautiful. They are very detailed. And I'm hoping he takes the project on. I know it's hard coming in after someone, and you're trying to recreate two characters that they already had created, but I'm hoping that he will be willing to take that on. Plus, he gets to create two new dogs. So that should be a fun part, is being able to create two more new ones. But we will see. We will see. I think right now is like the perfect time to be working on a book. Like, seriously, because summertime about to roll around. Yeah. So we need to be getting our outline together and figure out which direction we're going in.
Well, let's wait 7 days. I need these 7 days to happen, because I'm telling you, this is the worst time for a teacher at the end of the year, especially high school, because it's reports we have to fill out. We have to fill out reports. We have to get students.
And then if they don't pass, you have to have the verification for why they're not passing. And I know it is. That's why I always just try to make sure, as long as you tried in my class and you really tried to do your best, then I'm gonna give you what your best is. And I've been thankful enough that I haven't had to fail anyone, because everybody has been forthcoming and willing to attempt to do the work. But with your situation, I can only imagine, especially the one that's supposed to have that 51, like there's clearly something or some things that they didn't turn in that they should have turned in. And you sitting with a 51 and you in high school. You're not elementary, so it's, mama and daddy shouldn't have to push you too hard. You're supposed to be pushing yourself by high school years. But I hope it get worked out for you.
Yeah. Well, this is when all the emails and calls come in. So 7 days we're gonna wait 7 days.
Yeah. Yes, I'm all up for waiting for those 7 days. Yeah. That gives me a chance to kind of dive into some of these newer books and see if they catch my eye. Because if I start one and it has to like keep my attention for a period of time, because if it don't, it'll get put down and then stuff will start getting put on top of it, and I'll be cleaning up and be like, hey, I remember this book. I had started reading it and then something happened and it went left. Thinking about that. My husband and I were talking this morning. What's his name? Basketball player.
Oh, there's a lot.
His wife. What is his name? Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade and his wife, Gabrielle Union, who looks, I don't know how she looked the way she looked, but girlfriend is beautiful. The answer is money, apparently.
Money. When you got money, you can look any way you want.
Yeah, I mean, but she ages so well. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, but anyhow, they have just come out with a new children's book, and they already had a children's book that was out before. And I'm like, now y'all coming with another children's book? I'm like, when will, like, people who need the exposure, like, y'all don't need that money. People are going to go buy it because your name is attached to it, but y'all don't need that money. Like, try to come get some of us that's, new or up and coming artists. And, I might send GMA a message about that, and like, can y'all start bringing up and coming artists onto your show instead of
the regular people?
Yeah,
the regular,
like
hardworking people,
everyday people. Exactly. Like, can you start bringing them onto the show so they can get some, notoriety about their books? Because I'm sure there are some awesome ones we have out here. Clearly, we have awesome ones. I think Abby, I love that, and I love the meaning behind it. So I think that she was the perfect puppy. Yes, like it makes sense, and I understood it. And I just think that that's a really good book, and it gives meaning, and it's something that I think kids could relate to, because sometimes they do feel like they're out of place. And like I said, there's the connection right there. Why we can't get that on GMA?
You know, I read it to my fifth hour sophomores. We had some extra time at the end of the hour, and like kids were in the chat. They're like, "Oh my God, I feel like I know how Abby feels, and I felt like Abby." And
that's what I'm saying. They can relate.
I have a 6-year-old boy that's like, "You're gonna make me cry," you know, like.
Oh, but I mean, that's the truth. It's like, what do we have to do to have our voices heard and have us to be seen? It's like, hey, there are, regular everyday people who do really good things, or who have extremely great talents, and they aren't seen. And it's like, how? I'm gonna figure it out though. When I figure it out, your book gonna be one of the main ones I take up there with me, because somebody on Twitter told me I was gonna be a celebrity, and I was like, oh my gosh, you are so kind, thank you for saying that. I mean, I hope it's in a good way, because celebrity can go either or. So I'm hoping that it's a positive way of becoming a celebrity. And then I'm gonna bring my friends with me, my ride or dies that's been there with me in the beginning. I'm gonna bring them right along with me. So,
yes, we'll just start
as Lizzo
out to GMA and all that.
Yeah, I surely am. As Lizzo said, in one of her songs, that if she has it, like her friends have it, that's how I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be selfish. If I get up there, I'm bringing my day ones with me too, because I feel like they deserve the same recognition. So, and I think your book is really, it has a message, and it's a great message, and I know kids would love to hear. In fact, I'm going to read it to my fifth graders, even though we're going to be teaching math. I'm going to slip in story time every once in a while, because it couldn't hurt to put a little reading, literacy, and mathematics. That way I'm crossing the curriculum. See?
I've done that. I've crossed the curriculum with math and English before, when we did To Kill a Mockingbird, and we were doing the triangle equality theorem. And so it was, when you have the triangle, you have A, B, and C, and you have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I had to learn this theory, because me and geometry, we just don't get along,
No, me either. To this day, shout out to Miss Kennedy. She was a sweet older white lady, and she was my geometry teacher, and she gave me my 85. I'm honest. I know I did not earn it, but because I worked so hard in her class, she gave me that 85. I will never forget her for that. Miss Kennedy, gosh, if you're still alive out there, you've made a difference in my life, because I knew I couldn't take home no C. Like, there was no way. And when I saw that 85 in her book, all I could do was hug her and just tell her thank you so much, because math has not ever. But that's the irony, I think, of the situation is, when I interviewed with a head principal, and an assistant principal. Well, the assistant principal and the head principal were at one school, and the assistant principal was like, but gosh, all of her background is in English, and they had just had an ELA spot come open. And so she was like, well, I said, for real? She said, yeah. I was like, man. And she was like, well, what's your preference? I was like, ELA, like, that's me. That's me. And she called. I prayed about it. That was on a Tuesday when I interviewed. I prayed about it, and I was like, Lord, send me a sign before the end of the week, because she said she was gonna reach out next week, like Monday or Tuesday. And I was like, Lord, please send me a sign before the week over. Lord sent me a sign that Thursday. She called and she was like, the superintendent wanted to meet with she and myself, and could I meet tomorrow, which would be Friday at 2:45? I was like, yes, ma'am, I'll be there. And I knew why he wanted me to meet, but it's a long story. We're not gonna go there. And I know she fought hard for me, so I'm definitely gonna give my all to her. But when we got off the phone, we got ready to get off the phone, she was like, now, with all of your years of experience, I really want you in math. Are you okay with that? And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. And I said it before I processed it. And I was like, okay, well, you just get ready. You buckle up and get ready. You gonna learn this stuff and you gonna teach it. So I just think that, it's not my strong point, but maybe maybe I could become strong in it, or I hope I become strong in it so that I can empower. And I'm actually now a part of the STEM. STEM is always important and people are always talking about it. And I'm a part of it now. I was like, the M, that's for math. I'm in STEM now. This is so cool. So, yeah, I think I get a little overexcited about it, but I'm scared, I'm nervous, but I'm happy. So I think the happy outweighs the being scared and the being nervous.
So with the triangle equality theorem, I had Atticus Finch, Bob Ewell, and Tom Robinson. And if you know the book, you will accuse Tom Robinson, the black man, of rape for his daughter, and then he was killed trying to escape when he really couldn't escape. So the whole focus was so society. There was society was Tom Robinson, and then you had Bob Ewell, who was the negative aspect of society, and you have Atticus Finch, who was the positive. And I said, is Tom Robinson greater than A and B, which would have been Bob Ewell and Atticus Finch, or was Bob Ewell greater than Tom Robinson and Atticus Finch together? And so they had to write about it using the math equation. So it was really cool.
Yeah. What kind of answers did they give? Who did they think?
Oh, this was quite a few years ago. As long as they were able to provide, society was Bob Ewell because of society against Tom and Atticus. And a lot of them did say that society was against them and they did the equation for it. But I did have a couple kids saying that Tom could have been greater. Him and Atticus could have been greater than Bob Ewell in society. And they gave a really good, plausible argument for it. So
that's awesome. That was a great way of doing the cross curriculums. Yeah.
And then we also talked about society and race and history. So we brought a lot of it into this one just lesson project, and the kids really liked it.
And that book is definitely, that is a book that would definitely get you having the conversations. And I do feel like the conversations should still be had. Like they need to be had. Because it's not much has changed. And to a degree things have changed because you can have biracial marriages and you can live in your homes, but we I don't know, was Them on Netflix? Have you heard of Them? It's really called Them. It was THEM, and it was a black family in the 50s that moved into an all-white neighborhood. I haven't finished watching it because it's either Netflix or Amazon Prime, but it had to been, I thought it was Netflix because it was like rated, like it was, everybody was talking about it. And okay, he said it might be Amazon Prime. It's one of them. I didn't finish it. My husband did, and he was like, the way it ended, it was kind of messed up. And I think if I finish it, it will psychologically mess with me in my sleep. So probably, but the parts that I did see, nah, I'm good. I would not.
You would really like this lesson I did for the kids before we did To Kill a Mockingbird, because we talked about someone's race and culture, and you can't prevent that. That's just how you were born. So I took the kids' first names, and until you're 18, you can't change your name. Like, that's your legal name. So the kids in the beginning of the alphabet, like A through H, was in the front. Then the next middle, and then I had the end of the alphabet, and I switched it for the next class because I don't want the other class telling them what I did. And so the kids in the front could do whatever they wanted as long as it was school appropriate. They can not pay attention, they can sleep, they could take notes, they could participate without raising their hand, they could do whatever they wanted. The middle group sat at desks too, and they had to raise their hand if they wanted to answer a question. They had to pay attention, and they really couldn't do any side chat. And then the back group, the end of the alphabet, had to sit on the floor. They couldn't have any books. They didn't have anything to write with, and they could not participate. So I was showing them the idea about how people were treated back in the 1930s based on race. And I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I honestly, it could have blown up in my face, but I really wanted to show them how it felt, like in the best scenario I could. And so it was 20 minutes, and I'm surprised I lasted that long. And the kids in the front, were doing what they're doing, and they're starting to get to understanding. The kids in the back were getting very angry with me.
I know,
very angry.
I know they were mad as.
And I remember this one African American, big, like tall kid, and I could tell he was getting very furious with me. Like, I could just see it on his face, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start ending this because I know he is just going to blow up.
Yes.
So after the 20 minutes, I ended it, and I was explaining the situation. He goes, "Miss, I'm telling you right now, if you would have kept it going any longer and I didn't know it, you don't want to know what I was going to tell you."
Wait, I can imagine. Yes, indeed.
But he did appreciate the fact that I didn't give any hints. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just gave them a non-rehearsed true feeling of what it is like. Like this weekend, with my husband and his family was down, and of course, my husband is, and the rest of the family is. So, when we ate at one restaurant, it was a really nice restaurant, but it's still not the norm. Like it's not the norm to people. So you have people that look at you and it's like it's sad, but I'm just like, hey, I don't hide. I accept it, and it's just, I think the activity that you completed with your kids, I think that was a really good way of showing them the difference in what it would have ultimately felt like. So hats off to you for trying that, because that baby that you said that was hot, that was about to he was about to explode.
He was.
I can understand, where he was coming from, because he didn't know the backstory. So I like the fact that you just unscripted it and just put it out there and let it be the way that it was, and explain it to them, because I think racism still goes on. Children are taught that. It's not something that they just wake up and oh, I'm just not gonna be such and such friend today because she's that color. No, that stuff is taught within the household, and it's because I still catch it with Logie Bear. You know, people when they see me with Logie Bear, like I'm like his nanny or something. Like they don't really realize that here he come that I went through
Is that Logan?
full labor with no drugs and had him. And people to this day, they would sit there and say, you know, that is not your child. And I'm like, you's a lie. He is mine. He is all the way mine. Like, and he's very protective of mama. And I think that if he wasn't so clingy to me, then yeah, people would really probably think I had took him or something. And it just, but yeah, I just we and here we teach, we don't see color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't see color. We see your character. We see how you treat others, or, you know, how you treat yourself. And I just wish that was done more, because there are times where, you know, people might not even know that they are doing or saying something that's offensive. I remember recently, I gotten a scholastic book about Ruby Bridges, who was the first Black girl to attend all-white school, and I believe she was in Louisiana. And she used to have the federal marshals to walk her into the schools, and there was only one teacher who was willing to teach her, and so she would be in the classroom with that teacher, and it would just be she and that teacher. And just to think that was just, you know, just made what that happened in 1960 something. So I mean, it hadn't even been 50, 60 years, and you know, there was so much. And what I wish I understood is why would there be so much hate? Like, is it because you don't know the person, or is it, you know, because they're not the same color as you? I always would want to question, you know, why, because I think we had a conversation before, and it was about if you were running, and if there was a white man or a Black man behind you running, and which one you would feel more comfortable with when you're running. And see, me, period, I'm scared of both of them. I ain't gonna lie. But at the end of the day, because of things that have happened to me in my past, I'm gonna be more afraid of the white guy than I am the Black guy. And that's just from what I've experienced in the past. But then people look at me and they're like, but you married a white guy. Yeah, I can't help who I fell in love with. And I remember when I fell in love with him, even though it took him too long to realize I was going to be the one that he was going to marry. It took him way too long to figure that out. So, but yeah, in an instance of running, like, yeah, I would be the opposite. Whereas in your situation, you would be the opposite. And only reason why, like, I would, like I said before, I'd be scared of both, but I would be more afraid of, and it's just because of what has happened to me in my past. But I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't want neither one of them running behind me personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on if they're in athletic gear, it's one thing, but if they're not, I'd be scared of both.
Yeah.
Because why are they running after me if they're not in athletic gear?
Well, yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. Yeah, I would.
You know, and the best thing about that experiment I did is that there was different cultures and races among all three groups. So it wasn't like one race or one culture. And then afterwards, we actually discussed how it felt. And so I asked like my first group, how did it feel to do whatever you want? And they're like, it's great. Like we could sleep. Like, and then I said, okay, if you were in the back, how would you feel? And they said, I wouldn't like it. So they would understand how it felt in the back. And the fact is they didn't tell the other classes because they wanted the classes to experience it. They didn't want to give them any hints.
Awesome part.
Yeah.
That's the awesome part. And I think that was a darn great activity to implement. It was definitely a daredevil one because you didn't know which reaction you would actually get, but I think it was really, really a neat thing to do. And hopefully I would have been up front and with the regular kids.
So you would have been in the middle because you're with your name, your L, you would have been in the middle group.
Oh,
so
I would have been middle. So we went off of first names. Okay, yeah, I would have been in the middle. So I wouldn't have been too, because I could I would have to still follow the rules, but I would still, have to move a little bit. But yeah, that back row, that back crew, I know they was hot, like hot.
Well, and I didn't think that they would sit on the floor. Like I told them, I said, go sit on the floor.
And they actually, especially in high school, like that's the thing in high school, but that just means that they were very respectful of you and your authority because, I could tell some right now to go sit. I'm not sitting back down on the floor. That floor nasty, and you hear all the.
And then I completely ignored the back row. Like I didn't even acknowledge them. And he's like this,
And you just kept going. Yeah, that was a nice experience. That's definitely something that would be on that What Would You Do show that would come out. When the guy goes and I like those shows. I don't think I would ever want to be on one because I would definitely be the one that speaks out about something. I would definitely be the one that he'll be interviewing. So why did you speak out on that? I'm just like, I just feel, I have to be defensive and take care of everybody. And, if somebody not being treated right, I just speak up. I can't, I try to control it, but like when there was a incident back, I think it was on Facebook, and somebody had tried to call out educators who had red clock projects, meaning they only had 7 days or less to get their projects funded. And the way the question came out is what bothered me. And so that's why I responded back and was like, you either gonna help them get their projects funded or you're gonna go on and mind your business, but don't come questioning them like that. And Lord, I opened up a can of worms on that one. Yes, honey. But so, I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again. I would stand up for those individuals. Because it's not, And so, I don't know.
So who do we have next week then?
We have, I don't want to butcher it. I know his first name is Elijah, and he is so kind. I've been able to read my book to 2 of his classes before, but I'm not butchering his last name. If you can try, but I'm not butchering it.
Wait, I got a bad connection. It's all fuzzy.
I don't want to butcher his last name, but I think he's gonna be a great guest. He also has a chapter. I think he said he was chapter 43, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Trying to make me go get this book because y'all wrote in it, but I'm just like, because we're not connected on Twitter, then I can't purchase the book. So if we get connected on Twitter, then I'll consider it. But right now we're not.
I think his last name is Carbajal, but I don't know. So
That's
Elijah, if I'm wrong, don't correct me.
He's very excited about it. And like I said,
he wrote
I
chapter 43. So
yeah, I thought I saw 43 for him. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'm really interested in it, but like I say, we have to be following first before I can't support you. And then that's the one thing I have with like people when I do retweets or if I'm like sprinkling to projects and stuff, like I tell you, please follow as a courtesy. Like I'm gonna follow you right back, but you can't ask me to support your project and we're not connected. Like that don't make sense. Any contest I enter, I always make sure I go follow whoever is doing the contest. That's just courtesy. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I won a teacher tech bundle and I looked it up and I'm getting it's through Logitech or is it Logitech? Logitech.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Logitech. But I'm getting a camera, $150 pair of headsets, a $200 wireless keyboard, a $50 gift card. Like somebody nominated me. And I was like, what? And they picked 4 winners. And I was one of the 4 that they picked. I was like, shut up, for real? Like, I'm so excited. Like, and then I was saying where I was going to put the camera at so that I can try to like do it where I can see me in the corner. And then I'm like doing something else on the computer. Have you ever presented at a conference? I know we need to wrap it up soon, but yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need your assistance because they're here in Mississippi and Alabama gets together and they have the ACT workshop and they keep sending me the promotion to submit a proposal and I want to so bad, but I'm scared.
I think I presented at like 10 conferences.
Okay, look, you got some experience under your belt. Yeah, you the person I need to talk with then, because I want to know. I want to make sure that I get the proposal written the correct way and make sure because they asked me. This is now the 2nd year that they've asked me, and they be like, submit a proposal. Come on, submit a proposal, and I let it go by and I don't do it. And I'm like, this year I want to do it so bad. Like, I've only presented once, and that was for my school district. And thankfully, I was smart enough to make copies of my PowerPoint because the room they stuck me in, I didn't have any technology. So I was like, see, I came prepared with copies of my presentation and I also had feedback forms for them to fill out when they left. And my department head, she sat in on it and she told me that she was like, you have more knowledge to spread than you actually think that you have. And it made sense when she said it because, yeah, I tend to think that don't really know much, but she was like, you really have more knowledge to spread than you actually know. And I was like, okay. And I mean, I just admired her, period. So for her to say that, I was like, okay, so I might actually do good at this thing, because that's kind of something that I ultimately want to do after I finish with school is present at more conferences. So I think I want to start with this Mississippi Alabama ACT one first to get it on my belt.
Yeah, so the sooner you start it, the more known you get. So yeah, start it now. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait the 7 days though. And then yes. After 7 days, I'm gonna send you the information so that you can see, because it gives us a set of topics that they want you to kind of choose from or what they're expecting to have sessions on. And so yeah, I'm gonna wait the 7 days.
So May 29th is the open day.
Okay. So I can, May 29th is, cause I'm gonna say 7 days is the 25th.
Well, it's the 7 school days. I count it as school days, not weekends.
Okay, so it need to be 11 days.
Yeah.
Okay, because the 11 days will make the 29th.
Is it? It shouldn't be 9 days.
Today the 18th. Today the 18th. So
yeah, so it's 9 days. 9 days would be the 29th.
It's the 18th. We're trying to get to 29. So right. 1 plus 1.
All right, the 11th. So the 10th day is my last day. So the 11th day, yeah. That's why I'm not a math major. Okay, we already discovered this.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. I know what 18 plus 11 is. Okay, so I got 11 days I can wait. I'm sure they're going to have been sent me another email by then, but I'm going to go ahead on and actually open one up and look at it. And then I'll send you, I'll probably try to do an outline, and then I'll send it to you with the outline to see if you think I'm going in the right direction.
Okay.
Because that's ultimately something that I wanted to do. And they always ask me each year. I think this is the second year, if I'm not second or third year. And I don't know how they got my email information, but they send it to me and they're like, submit your proposals. And I'm like, okay, I want to. I just don't know how. So, oh well.
All right. Well, we'll work on that. And then next week we have a author, and we'll talk to him and we'll discuss more about the book, the 100 no nonsense things that teachers should stop doing.
Yes, and I'm going to contemplate really hard. No, I'm waiting to get the word to Dr. Jetter. Get the word to him. When we connect, then I will purchase the book. Because, I mean, I know there's some cool people in it already that I want to hear y'all's chapters, especially yours and Elijah. So that's enough for me to want to purchase the book. So
there's tons of great authors from like the Teach Better team, from DBC.
I don't want to talk about them.
Stop.
No.
All right, so it was a great show. We're gonna end it.
Look. We're gonna 100.
Blah blah.
I just said I didn't want to talk about them. That's all I said. Like, okay. Well, I didn't say anything negative.
No. All right. No, well, it is time to get the child to bed. Yes. So
gotta get her in the bed. School tomorrow. And I gotta get mine in bed so they can wake up, because today was their day to go to school. So tomorrow is their day for school at home. So yeah, I'm going to get them ready for that. And that's about it. So I hope you all have enjoyed us this hour. I have enjoyed this time catching up with Kristen, because she was sick for about a year, and now she finally feeling better. And then she has a couple of days left in school. She's going to get out, and I'm going to be waiting patiently for her opportunity to escape school.
So 12:01 a.m. on Saturday morning after midnight, yes, I'll be getting a text
in your inbox like, yo, it's me. I'm here now. Here's what I have. Tell me what you think. Tell me how I look, what I need to do, what I need to change. So, yes, but it's been fun. I hope you all have enjoyed. Please join us next week. We have a really awesome educator. His kids were awesome. Reading to them were awesome. He's awesome. And he's in a book now as an author. So Elijah, we look forward to having you with us next week. And that's it. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month to everyone. Mm-hmm. That's why my nails are green. And I will be changing them soon, because the green is kind of loud. But I had them for this month. And so, yeah, just wanted to shout out. Mental health, it matters. Mental health is real, and we need to get rid of the stigma.
Yep.
All right. That's all I got to say.
Good night.
Right. Good night.